people that they know all these things are wrong, but they don't fix it and they wonder why they don't get growth. Well, I mean, it's not that you're not getting growth and people don't want to watch you. It's that you need to fix these issues. You know, you have a buzzing everywhere and people don't want to hear that. You know, would you want to go to someone's stream or a video and hear something else in the background, or you can't hear the game, or, you know, no, I mean, everybody's different, because I can't say that, because you'll see some other people that have weird ass things happening and I'm like, how?
Right.
But that would be my number one thing, would be just don't pay attention to views, because it really, when you look at a view and you look at someone leave and then now you have like nobody or one person, you act different, whether if you had 20 or you had one. And for me, I have everything turned off. I never look at my views. I don't even look at my after report, believe it or not. I don't look at nothing, because I don't want that to affect my mood for when my next stream is, because I want my mood to be consistently happy, because this is what makes me happy. So if it makes me happy, I don't want, oh, Bob left and now Bob's not here and now I only have Marion Smith. No, I don't want that. So if I don't know the numbers, I don't see the numbers, I'm not bothered by the numbers, because I want to have a good time, whether I have 1, 0, 50, 3,000, doesn't matter who. I want to have a good time. And to me, that's, if you don't pay attention to it, you'll have an amazing time. And when you play with friends too.
Right. And I think that's the other thing too to point out, is that if you allow your videos to be recorded on Twitch, there's people that are going to watch those videos later. So it's just not only being in the live mindset, but also remembering, like, it's also considered a recording. So yeah, if you're not engaging with anything, I mean, yeah, it can be very boring to watch those recordings, you know? And sometimes that's what brings people to your page. They want to check out one of your streams before they maybe hop in live sometime. So that could be important to keep that in mind too. But the views, that's huge, because I know for me too, that'll absolutely impact my mood. So I turn my views off too.
Yeah.
I noticed that. You can't turn them off, can't you? Or
yeah,
you can.
I can on OBS. So what I do is I just click on it and I don't even see the views. I don't know about it through Twitch or not, but I know OBS I can.
Yeah.
I leave mine on just to reinforce the fact that I suck. So I'm like, okay, I still suck today.
You're using it as fuel to the fire, or
that's exactly right. But I think the important thing with the views thing, though, is like some of the stuff that I've read about, like how to talk to your chat, or I think it's a perfect opportunity to get comfortable to talk to chat.
Yeah.
As if the chat is full and you're talking to your stream as if there's 20, 50, 100 people there. So that way, when somebody does come in, you've already been practicing. You already know kind of what to say. It already flows because it's kind of been your routine.
Well, and that's why, like if you don't pay attention to views, you're more inclined to, like, how do I say, interact with them. Like when they do come in and you get, like, I don't know, for me, I always got excited when someone said hi. But even then, like, I always, like, people used to call me crazy back in the day because I'd always talk to myself. Like, I can't even tell you, even games that it's not even exciting, I would talk to myself and people would be like, are you okay? Like, there's no one here with you. And I'm okay. I'm all right.
And little did you know, you've just been training for streaming your whole life and content creation.
I think the other spinoff from that too is like just talking to yourself. Like, it's really hard to basically speak what you're thinking. And there's a YouTube, I don't know, do you follow Markiplier at all?
I do. Oh, he's so good.
He's really good at the speaking his mind. Because if you watch him play games, he's basically saying everything he's thinking as he's playing it.
You literally have to do that, though, to keep people entertained. Because in this, like, it's so hard these days because everywhere is saturated. Whether no matter where you go, there's so many people trying to do it, but it's hard, not impossible, you know? So I just think people need to really think about what you kind of want to put out there, but also really like what you're doing. Like, people I see that play games, they don't like what they're playing. Why are you playing it? You know?
Right?
We're just waiting them out. More people that get frustrated and leave. the more chance we got.
If that was the truth.
Right?
Trust me, it's happening. People were getting frustrated. They're leaving. I mean, I see it on Twitter every single day. Hey, I've been away. Hey, I'm not feeling it. And I think people were they're focusing too much on those views, or they actually have the personal issue thing is getting out of hand. I don't know what the hell's going on, but I don't know if it has something to do with COVID and people have been locked up for so long and they're just going stir crazy. But it's like the health issue of gamers is like, man, it's there because every day there's somebody that's posting something about how they're down in the dumps. And
I
it's
think
like,
COVID brought a highlight to it. And when you think about it, a lot of people, when you have a certain routine, you go to work, you go to school, you're doing what you're doing, you're socializing. That can be kind of an escape and a distraction where, with the lockdown and with the stress of, loss, whether it be a family or job or whatever, I think that had such an impact. Along with all the time, you're not distracted. You're sitting there, you can think. Sometimes that's dangerous.
Well, streaming's a little bit like a business. I mean, that's kind of, you have to treat it like, because you're basically creating a brand for yourself, which is basically a business, because you're there to try to earn this money from, subscriptions or selling merchandise and things like that. And you really have to treat it like that. And I started my own business, and I can tell you, for the majority of the time, there's a lot of sweat equity that goes into. And what I mean by that is you're going to put in a lot of time into something and you're not going to get compensated for it. But you're hoping at the end of that there's some light at the end of the tunnel where it does start generating something for you. But I mean, everybody's on this grind and it's going to take them all a long time to get to that point. And not everybody's going to make it. And I stream mostly now because of all the people I met on Mixer. They've all carried over to Twitch for the most part, and I've been slowly still finding some people that I followed over there that I didn't get, and I should have wrote them all down. But I mean, I like going to Beenooza's chat, and I like going to Nurse Stews. I go in there and say inappropriate things all the time because it's fun. Because you get him to crack a smile on stream, it's funny. And there's just certain people like that, Judo Chop. You guys go to Judo Chop all the time.
It's great to vibe with.
I think the people that are complaining about the views aren't doing. I don't know if they are or they aren't. Maybe they're not going and engaging with these other people, but they need to take some time when they're off stream to go engage and support some other people. You don't have to support them monetarily. You just be there.
Yeah, I think it also depends on what's your point for streaming, because I definitely hear your perspective on it's a business, and so you're taking it from that approach. But in a different perspective, I'm going to play the game anyway, and I'm going to have fun playing it. And so it's, being able to be a part of so many different communities and the larger overall gaming community that's online. I mean, to be able to have these connections through streaming, it just kind of adds the icing on the cake, But,
right. And you're gonna go ahead.
I was going to say it morphs. If you do it that way, it seems to morph into its own creature organically, but it's not the most structured way, and it's definitely not the same approach where if I'm thinking about if there was like a class, like how do you become a streamer, there's probably like a beautiful 10-step process that could be taken that, you could learn how to do it. It'd be super easy versus like my method's been the trial and error. And what am I doing?
I'm glad you volunteered to now offer through the Gamer Couch podcast classes on streaming.
No?
I will be signing up for that.
I'm going to point your direction towards some, 5-year-long veteran streamers potentially for something like that.
Yeah, right.
Someone who's been around for a while.
I think that you'll find that you're gonna have more of a longevity of survival on the platform because you're not having that expectation. I think the expectation of the views thing is by the people that are looking for the monetary kickback from what they're doing.
I think that's what I'm really trying to speak to. Yeah, is that I'm not looking at a perspective. So I think that's why, well, it is true. I mean, the views did bother me, but that's why I turned them off because I had to realize that wasn't my point. of why I'm streaming.
Yeah.
It's not the only it's a piece to it, and it's a, it can be a connection to monetary, but I'm still going to play the game. So whether I'm streaming or not, I'm still going to be online. I might as well stream.
Fair. I respect that. I mean, it's everyone brings up amazing points, business or not. Though, I mean, it just depends on your goal. Like, what do you want to accomplish, right? Do you just want? Some people are totally okay with just playing games, and they make it somehow with. I mean, just playing games, which is amazing. And then there's other people that take every approach, watch every YouTube video, do everything in their powers to try and get up there faster because they, instead of like for me, I'm so lame, but I watch a lot of Gary Vee. I don't know if you guys have heard of him, but he's a motivational speaker. He has his own company and everything, but he talks a lot about patience. And that's my flaw is patience, because I'm always used to going to school, working hard, getting something. So for me to be not making money and not doing nothing on this, but doing something that I love. You've been doing this for how long without money? You can do it for another 10 years without making money. So what is that? What is that?
Yeah.
You love doing it. So whether you make money, you don't make money, you still like doing it. Why not do what you like to do and see what you can do with it? Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, and I think it all depends on the person's situation too. Like the COVID thing, I think a lot of people jumped into it thinking, hey, I could probably make money at this and maybe I can. But also with that, a lot of people were unemployed. So a lot of people don't have money to support and just go out there and throw money into a game or a stream. But I don't know if some of the people will hang around for 10 years without. But as far as the business aspect, if you take a look at like Summit 1G or Shroud or Ninja, or Dr. Disrespect, those are all business entities at this point because they're that big.
The only thing I will point out that I learned that does potentially set Shroud apart from these other streamers is that Shroud basically came up on merit, not a character, not a brand or a concept like that. But that's just what I heard, and it could be rumor, so don't quote me on it, even though...
Well, Shroud is his... that's his brand or whatever. But
I mean, as far as it was more about like just the merit of the game, not the bells and whistles, so to speak. But it's obviously turned into that more.
That guy has a sick aim. I mean, that guy.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's down to his skill set that brought, I think, the attention to him.
Yeah, because he's really good. Some people, I feel like the people who are like really, 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 really good, it doesn't matter. They don't need to do the extra. Like they will, I mean, I don't know if you guys have heard of like Spiros, but Spiros is on like, he's more on YouTube and he does Twitch, but this guy can like fall from a helicopter and freaking get kills right off the roof of a house. And I'm like, dude, how can you see them?
That's insane.
So it's just like it's just talent. Everyone has talent in different ways. And some are humor. Some are video games, pick up any video game, become great. Some, Shroud is a really good example because he's just, I've recently gone into like his content and that guy can pick up pretty much any game and be good at any game. He just needs a little bit of practice and boom.
I don't know. I was watching him play Phasmophobia. He's like, how do I do this? So it was like really weird watching it because it's like, dude, you are good at every game. And this game has crippled him.
So it was kind of
fun. Yeah, because I think he was just picking it up. So it was kind of funny to watch that. But
he's I mean, honestly, that game, let me tell you from advance, like from my knowledge, that messes you up on so many levels. I totally understand his pain.
You're in that school hiding in the corner. Oh my god.
Crying for help. Somebody
and then it killed you. What was that? Like you were hiding in the corner, but you were pointed towards the corner. Was it because you were talking on the microphone that got you, or I couldn't? Because you're supposed to cower into a corner and it goes away, but
it
did the first time, but then it came back and got you again.
Well, because I did my teammates pretty dirty. That's probably why I didn't get me. But no. So when you go, pretty much what you're supposed to do is I didn't know because I learned this, but you're not supposed to talk. You're supposed to turn off your light, be calm in a corner. But Beenooza doesn't do calm in a corner when creepy shit is happening in her ear. So.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sitting here pressing every button. Oh my God, help me. Someone help me. Yeah, so it didn't get me the first time because I walked towards someone else, so they caught the kill instead. But yeah, you're supposed to technically crouch, turn your light off, not talk, close the door if you're in the door, but you're supposed to get out of the way of the thingy that comes at you. But it's different. It's okay when you're on the sidelines and you're sitting there like, oh yeah, you're supposed to do this and this and that. But when you're sitting there and you have that in your ear and the heart, like, no, I don't care. I'm going to sit here and cry. Fetal position all the way. Okay.
That's one thing that makes me think I should revisit Resident Evil because I tried to play it on my own. And yeah, it was in the dark, and that was probably the stupidest part, of it all. But I bet if I was streaming it, I wouldn't be as scared because I'd know there's other people watching. You know what I mean? That you're not like all by yourself in that way.
See, and that's actually, it's funny you bring that up because when I was in the service, my buddy had bought. You remember the Silent Hills?
Mm-hmm.
I've never watched those.
Don't.
It was a game.
Don't.
So we would go into his little dorm room when we were in the military because we were living in the dorms at the time. We'd shut off all the lights and I would watch him play. And that was like our Twitch back then because it wasn't online or nothing. It was just you were hanging out at his place and like we shut off all the lights and freak us the fuck out, man. Because that game was so. I really wish they would remake that into something newer. Like
well, doesn't Dead by Daylight have a little bit of Silent Hill? Is that kind of no?
I don't know, but
I don't think so. I don't know.
Like they have the Silent Hill killer and like the people, but like I've never played Silent Hill game. So
yeah, I think Dead by Daylight just does its own thing. I think Silent Hill has a different what would you call it? Platform. Like a different playthrough style.
Oh, okay.
To it. I don't think it's the same concept.
It's kind of like Resident Evil, isn't it? A little bit.
Resident Evil, you walk through an area where Dead by Daylight, if I remember correctly, it's just like one map.
I mean, the Silent Hill is kind of like Resident Evil. It's a walkthrough type thing with a lot of jump scares.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. That's what I'm trying to figure out the terminology: walkthrough versus an arena map, kind of like maybe.
So shit will jump out at you and scare the piss out of you. Like it's.
Yeah, no, it made my heart race too much. I was like, oh my God. And I barely made it through the first like 2 minutes.
And Silent Hill just has that theme music that's just creepy as all hell gets out. The movie's even creepy.
I've not seen the movie. I know
You should watch it.
I talk a big game on Sunday on horror. Oh my God, I can't say that word ever. Horror nights, but I'm a chicken shit. Like if you watch seriously, like I cannot watch a scary movie by myself. I'll sit there hiding underneath a blanket. That's the only reason. A lot of the time, like I'm working my way up to horror content on YouTube, but I play on stream so I don't feel alone. So people can come talk to me and say, it's going to be okay, Beenooza, you're not going to die, even though I just died 5 times. But
I like that one. I don't remember what game were you playing where you're like, don't clip that. And I clipped it anyway. I was like, well, if you tell me not to clip it, I'm going to clip it.
Don't touch that button.
was it Visage or Visage or
Visage? Yeah, Visage or whatever it's called.
Yeah, dude, that game, oh my God. Like talk about oh yes, it's okay. I remember. So I will fill you in, Fulio. So it's on Visage or whatever, however you say it, and you go in this room and you beat each story is different. So you beat the granny story, and now I was on Lucy's story, and Lucy is a little kid, and a little kid is hella terrifying in scary movies.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you know the kid is going to be hella terrifying.
Because normally a little kid, you could probably take down a little kid in real life, but if they're paranormal little kid or like, you know, they got some special powers, that is creepy.
You can take down a goddamn dinosaur.
Right?
But you go in a room and it's pitch black and you have a lighter that runs out and you have to try and find where the heck the key is. And in that room, all you hear is her like, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't. Just take me. I'm dead. Oh man.
So touching back on the hardware issues that you talk about on stream, do you approach people at all about their hardware issues? Because I feel really awkward doing that because I hate when people call me out, but I know that I'm wrong. So I got to like fix it. Like if my game audio is not coming through or whatever, I just feel stupid like when I do that. But
so at first, I used to just like silently say like, man, they should really turn up their game, you know, but then I said to myself, imagine everyone that kept their mouths shut. Like for me, if I have an annoying noise, please goddamn tell me. Like I need to know. So at first I used to be quiet about it and just be like, oh, you know, hanging out. But then I don't say it right off the bat. I warm myself up to them and their community, kind of like watch for a little bit and then say to them, you know what? I just wanted to let you know, do you think you can turn up your game a little bit more? You know, I'm just having a hard time hearing such and such and so and so. Or if it's buzzing, I just want to let you know that, you know, your mic is letting off some buzz. I'm not sure if you know. And sometimes they do say, oh, I know. But then they don't do nothing about it. So then it's kind of like, oh, okay, well, if you know and you hear people complaining about it, then you're wondering why things are not going the way you want it. But like it depends though, because sometimes some people like I'm not going to mention names, but there was this one streamer and I really like to watch their content because they're really like a good individual. But they were just having issues with their audio and their visual, and it was just lagging and it was just unwatchable. And when it's really unwatchable, I can't stay. Like as much as I'm a viewer too, but I can't stay. So I try and I help as much as I can. Like my DMs are always open when people have issues, and if I can try and help, I will. But you know, I always prompt people, go to YouTube, because I knew nothing and I learned everything off of YouTube. So it's my best friend. I
learned how to work Voicemeeter thanks to YouTube. Only like, 1,700,000 videos later. But hey, I got there. Right? I'm not an expert yet. I still need 10,000 more hours, but otherwise, without that, I wouldn't have been able to figure out how to do anything.
Speaking of that, though, Beenooza, have you seen the Wave 3 mic that Elgato released? That's one that I purchased.
You got it?
Yeah. So it has. Well, I had problems with the game audio. Like every time I assign the game audio to a game, it wouldn't. I would literally have to go unassign it and then reassign it in Windows. But other than that issue, it's worked out really well. I'm actually talking on it right now.
I was going to say.
You can separate out your audio into 9 different inputs. So
holy shit.
Like
so you don't have to use cable with Voicemeeter. 2 softwares.
So, and then so it'll have one for the browser. So if you're playing like YouTube videos on your stream and you don't want to hear it, but you want it to go out to your stream, you can mute your headphones or you can mute the stream, one or the other. And then you can control the audio independently too. So if you want it lower in your headphones, but you want it louder on stream, you can do that. And then, so like your game, your Discord. So like you said, you like to mute people. If you want to mute, like I play on Discord a lot, so I can literally either turn the people up in my Discord, I can turn them down on stream. Or I have a stream deck that I use too, so I can mute in Discord. There's a mute button. And that'll mute my party so I can talk to chat. I think a lot of people use that. Or I can
need that in my life.
It works really well. Other than that,
I manually do it. I'm like, okay, let's go to Discord. Let's go to the chat. Let's go all the way down while I'm talking. And then they'll be like, Beenooza, where are you? And I'm just sitting here talking to my chat like, hi. Oh, sorry, you were muted.
My point with it, though, is I think the people that are considering to buy a Go XLR, I think this is actually a cheaper alternative to get by without having to throw down almost $500
You should
for a Go
pop
XLR.
that as a review on the website.
I should. Hopefully we can get Elgato to pay attention. They turned me down.
And I mean, actually, it's in their best interest. Why not?
I applied to be basically a sponsor or whatever their program they had, and they turned me down. So because they don't like chaos in their life. But the point is, Go XLR has 4 inputs, and I think there's an add-on that you can expand that, which obviously is going to cost you more money. But I got my microphone for $140 shipped through Corsair directly, and you can have 9 inputs. And I think this works a lot better.
Can I tell you something? I'm telling you this out of experience. If you I'm not even trying to go make a YouTube, but if you go make a YouTube video on this, and the knowledge that you have, I guarantee you, because especially right now, everyone's trying to be a streamer, a content creator, a YouTuber. They're always looking for people that compare. That's exactly what I did. I have a Blue Yeti mic, and I had a blue mic before, a snowball, and I like this, but obviously I want to upgrade eventually. And what am I going to do? I'm going to go look at what's the difference between this, and this, right? And if you because you are very knowledgeable, and if you bring all this stuff out, that's another way for you to, on top of your podcasts, on top of everything else, is another way for you to attract attention. And honest to God, if you get enough attention from that, Elgato will reach out to you and will accept, because that's what, if you look at Alpha Gaming, he's so successful, and that's what he does. His channels all comparing.
I've done that in the past. I did a thing on RTX voice, actually. And since hey, I wanted to touch on that. Your computer that you built, I'm very proud of you. You nailed it. So you got a GeForce RTX 2070 Super. Do you know about RTX voice?
No, because I got one of my friends to help me out to do this computer. It's a pre-built, so I didn't build it.
I did a video on exactly what you're talking about, so I'm going to I'll send that to you in a private message. You can watch that, but it's super, super amazing. So you have an RTX card, and NVIDIA released a add-on program to go with your RTX. It's called RTX Voice, and a guy did a YouTube video. This is where I first watched it. He had a vacuum, a fan, and he was banging a hammer on his desk, and he was still able to talk. He couldn't hear himself talk, but you couldn't hear anything that was going on. You couldn't hear the fan. You couldn't hear the fan. You couldn't hear the hammer. You couldn't hear the vacuum.
What?
It blocked all of it. And it uses the artificial intelligence that's built into the RTX card.
Damn.
So the tensor cores. Yeah, it's super amazing. So if you have a noisy background, you got kids running around, it'll filter all that out. You won't hear a thing other than you.
That's insane.
I did do a video on that, actually. But it's funny you said that. I actually, since I had a cell phone repair store, and I'm pretty technical. When my babies were really little, I was tired of buying D batteries for the baby swing. So I modified the baby swing so it would plug into the wall instead. I did a video on that. It was actually my pajama pants. I was like, and you have to wear pajama pants because that will help you get this accomplished faster. So
that's the dad requirement.
Dude, it was awesome. Plugged it in. Actually, I took a really long extension cable too, and I tied it all in, and I ran it down the shaft of the leg. So it all looked like it was legit, like it was built that way. So I was really proud of that project. That is on YouTube.
That is dope. That is dope AF.
Technically, Jeff is a channel. I just post weird shit on there. I did a time lapse of me tearing down my Christmas tree one year, and I took a Sawzall and I just started chopping it apart. And I like set up my camera and did a time lapse of the tree coming down. Just stupid shit like that.
That's cool. I like
Makes
time
me
lapse.
feel like I have all these dumb videos I make. I should just post them.
Do it. Oh
I
my
got dumb
god.
pug videos.